Greetings, everyone, and welcome to this afternoon's live stream event, Thriving in the Age of Kali Yuga with Pandit Rajmani Tigunati. I'm Greg Capitolo, Director of the Institute's Mission Programming Division, and on behalf of all of us here, a very warm welcome from us to all of you. You know, it's been about 3 months since we've had Panditji here to talk to us in this live stream format, and a lot has happened in those last 3 months here that I wanted to share with you. Of course, we've enjoyed staying in touch with you, connected with you with our online webinars, Facebook Lives, and our growing content on the Wisdom Library. But guess what? We've also really enjoyed seeing you again in person. And since opening our doors again on June 12th, we've hosted many of you for private events, mission programs, and our array of peer review wellness programs. And it's just been wonderful for all of us to see you again in person. I think it's unanimous that those who've been able to come, as many of you have really enjoyed being here and have felt safe. And we're really proud of our protocols that we have in place with your safety utmost on our minds. You know, it's funny, several people have come up to us and said, you know, being here was so wonderful, and it was the first time I was away from my home since March. And so we're just thrilled to provide that environment, of course, as always, to many of you to come here to study in a safe and nourishing space. So for the rest of the year, you can visit HimalayanInstitute.org and see what we have in store for you, both here in person and online. And one thing I wanted to mention in that regard is Panditji will be teaching New Year's, in-person program as well as a live simulcast. So you can choose to attend here in person or join us online. And again, please visit our website for the other array of programs that we have both online and here in person. Okay, so for those of you who might be joining us for the first time, I want to say just a little about Panditji. He's chairman and spiritual head of the Institute. He's author of 18 books and actively working on his 19th. And he's our leader, in all regards, with regards to our programming, as well as our wonderful humanitarian projects that we're conducting overseas. So with that, sit back and enjoy Thriving in the Age of Kali Yuga with Pandit Rajmani Tigunati.
द्वैताद्वैत महामोह सर्वरीक्षपणक्षमः भास्वानिव जयत्येको गणेशो दूतरीयुतः प्रतिभायाः परोल्लासो निशाकर इवापरः दूतीयुक्तः स जयतु बटुकस्ताण्डवान्वितः। ॐ शान्तिः शान्तिः शान्तिः। Welcome everyone. With this topic, thriving in the age of Kali Yuga, I hope you are not expecting a prophetic revelation from me. And if you are expecting, I will try to be as precise and dignified philosopher as possible. Today I wish to be absolutely disciplined in my speech, in my words. Today, we do not need an enlightened master to descend from heaven or descend from one of the highest peaks of the Himalayas to tell us that Kali Yuga is right here. And if we do not exercise our power and our privilege to light a flame, then definitely we have no choice, we have no option but to live in the darkness. As all ancient scriptures unanimously tell us, they say it in one voice. That walk when there is light. For no one walks when it's dark. Kali Yuga means the era of human civilization that is defined by darkness. And what kind of darkness that we are talking about? The darkness that is marked by fear, anger, confusion, suspicion, doubt, violence, divisiveness, lies, rumors, conspiracy theories. Okay. In short, the era that is defined by complete madness. And this is what I was telling you, that we do not need some extraordinary soul to come and tell us that whether or not we are here in the age of Kali Yuga. I'll tell you, I'll share with you few small and super simple sounding anecdotes. I was talking to someone on the telephone, and the person was in New Delhi. Family lives on the second floor. 6-7 months have gone by. That part of Delhi is still in lockdown situation. Little bit, this lockdown has been eased, and the mailman has started coming, dropping the packets once in a while whenever the family has some mails. The mailman comes, drops the letter in the porch on the ground floor. And the family lives on the second floor. The mother wants to go and pick up her mail. A 5-year-old child, 6-year-old child says, Mama, Mama, says, Mama, Mama, don't go there. Corona has come. And he's panic. And he's running through the stairs up on the roof. Goes on the roof. Father goes, tries to bring the child to the apartment. Child is crying and says, Mama, Mama, don't touch me. Corona is all over on my body. Let me share with you another anecdote. One day, I went to town or nearby town called Hansdale. Rarely I go there, and especially for the last 6-7 months. I was wearing my mask. Okay. Right here. Somewhere. Oh. Yeah. People looked at me that I was a bizarre person. Why? Because wearing mask has become associated with a political statement. Thank God in our town, there has not been recently even a single case of COVID-19. And I saw few people walking around. I took away my mask. Then people started frowning at me. Look here. First thing, a pandemic is pandemic. It is not a very, very personal property of a particular political party. And look here, the darkness of human mind, that instead of directly focusing on this pandemic and bringing safety, security, peacefulness, and happiness, and granting health, making sure that everyone's life is safe, we drag such an obvious issue, obvious situation into such unnecessary mess. Put on your mask. Somebody is mad at you. Don't put on a mask. Somebody is mad at you. What could be more confusing than this? When a philosopher like me is dragged into a controversy about what matters and what does not matter without paying any attention, and if a philosopher like me simply tries to be loving, kind, and mindful, and pays attention and gives respect to human life and dignity to life in all forms, such a philosopher is viewed as an inert and confused. I call it Kali Yuga. And this is not the first time that this situation has happened. There have been many, many times in human history when humanity at large embraced a collective insanity that is called Kali Yuga. When scientists, inventors are put under pressure to distort truth and manipulate the trail of their findings either this way or that way, to me, that is Kali Yuga. Today, scientists are forced to debate. Scientists are forced to first select a viewpoint. select their belongingness. And that means you renounce your loyalty to subject, your scientific field, your scientific discovery, your knowledge and wisdom. And then you discuss, is climate change real? And you discuss, the issues pertaining to battered women is real and correct. And you debate about Black lives matter, white lives matter, women's life matter, children's life matter. The lives of those sitting in slums matter. The lives of those who are hungry and starving matters. When something which is so dire, so real, so clear, and so loudly demanding our immediate attention, and the attention that demands that it should be accompanied by love, care, compassion, kindness, wisdom. Then we are put in a situation where we debate for the sake of debate, debating with the intention of having a debate, with the intention of finding a correct solution. That is wonderful. But when we debate for the sake of supporting something which is completely selfish, or opposing something which is totally selfish, our loyalty to the truth, our loyalty to the urgent issue is gone. That's called Kali Yuga. What happens in that situation? Violence, anger, frustration, disappointment. Because regardless how much darkness surrounds us, either inside us or outside us, a part of us is very, very enlightened. A part of us very alert, very awakened. And that part of us is called prajna, our inner conscience, our soul, our decisive faculty, our power of discernment that doesn't die. It's very well alive. And that part of us starts questioning our own endeavors. That you philosophers, you doctors, you politicians, you spiritual seekers, you activists, what are you doing? What are you trying to find? What are you trying to solve? Where do you want to reach? That question is so clear, so loud, that we cannot escape it. And when, due to our own fear, prejudices, preoccupations, pre-existing conditions, anger, revenge, when we start suppressing the voice of our own heart, the voice of our own soul, we keep getting deeper and deeper into that cloud of darkness. Living and being in that way further strengthens the grip of Kali Yuga on us. In olden days, or let's say in ancient times when the yoga scriptures, texts of spiritual texts, yogic texts, tantric texts were written, for some reason, lots of these materials were put forth in the language of mythology. So there is a very beautiful story in ancient scriptures. In fact, 20 years ago, when Yoga International was a paper magazine, which is now digital, I wrote an article about Kali Yuga. There I have written a story of a demon, a devil, which has been kind of very standard theme, standard style in all cultures, almost everywhere in the world, in ancient cultures, that you divide humanity, divide all beings in two parts, bright beings and dark beings, good guys and bad guys. Another tendency has been that good guys as well as the bad guys, they were celestial beings and demonic beings. Both are very power hungry. And that creates an environment for tussle. So-called celestial beings deny even 1 inch of land to the so-called demonic beings. And same thing the demonic beings also do. You completely, demonic beings, according to the demonic beings, these so-called celestial beings are the demonic beings. And they don't deserve to exist. And according to so-called divine beings, celestial beings, everybody else is demonic beings, and they don't deserve to exist. So, once upon a time, somehow, a fellow named Shankasura, I don't know whether you will see on your screen, Shankha, S-H-A-N-K-H-A, Sura. Shankasura. This name of it, quote, a demon, bad guy. Happens to become very powerful. His army was excellent. His supporting team was excellent. His advisors were excellent. Everything excellent. But excellent for what? Kill, conquer, possess, obliterate, annihilate those whose ideology, whose lifestyle, whose values not compatible to ours. This way, this fellow, Shankasura, captured almost all the wealth of the planet. And still he was not happy. So now he started exploiting all possible wealth hidden deep into the forest. And he achieved clear cutting of the trees, and God knows in doing what else. Still he was not happy. Now he went on conquering and exploiting the ocean, rivers. As a byproduct of this conquest, an accumulation of everything that existed on the planet, whole planet was littered with garbage. Land got polluted. Air got polluted. Water got polluted. Ocean got polluted. And one by one, the destructive effect of this pollution began to show, began to manifest. The ocean life got sick. Life on the planet, on the land got sick. There was devastation everywhere. Plant was succumbed to waves of diseases, fights, wars broke on account of shortage of food, shortage of water, violence everywhere. Those who had access to the grains, they started accumulating. Those who had access to the medicine, they started just hoarding. People were not willing to share what they had, hoping that by hoarding, by having all those things, they will remain safe. But what they did not realize, that how closely knit is life here on this planet. Now, when we look at today what is happening in the world, perhaps our today's story is not different from what we read in these ancient texts. And still we are constantly denying the fact that when this kind of extreme sweeps our planet, the results could be quite bad. How many more living examples do we need in order to convince ourselves that we are deep in Kali Yuga, the age marked by darkness of fear, doubt, anger, violence, confusion? When in India, for example, the government of India declared lockdown, gave just few hours, 3-4 hours for everything to be shut down. There were millions of people in the big cities. They just came out and they were running amok. Here's something very important we should pay attention to. Why are people so afraid? It's India, it's China, it's the United States of America, it's European Union, it's African countries, it's China, it's everywhere. Same situation. We are trying to arrest violence. How much effort have we put into arresting the cause behind violence? Okay. Is it really the fear of virus which pushed multiple millions of migrant workers to leave the cities? Isn't that something much deeper is there? Is it something appropriate and not appropriate for a philosopher like me even to raise this question. That there is great degree of distrust in the system. Distrust, mistrust in the system, that when I get sick, nobody is going to care for me. When I'm hungry and there is no food, nobody is going to give me food. Okay? And therefore, I must take care of myself. Run! Are our police force, here for example in the United States of America, are they really bad people? Answer is completely meaningless answer. Fact is, if there is any incidence of less kind action on anyone's part, at least even my common philosophy driven, my common sense says that there is anger. It is when we are angry, when we are frustrated, when we are tired, when we are exhausted, when we are pained, we start reacting. We start acting and reacting in a manner which is not very saintly. It happens in our homes. It happens in our streets. It happens in the army. It happens in the police people. It happens in the court system. It happens even in our parliaments. Parliamentarians pick up their chairs and start throwing on each other. Living example is there. You go there, in the British Parliament people have done it, in Indian Parliament have done it, and here in the Parliament of our so-called Capitol Hill, even in the United States of America, people do such things where they start exchanging their words in such a manner which is far, far, far below than any so-called civilized way of living and being. Why does it happen? Are they bad people? The truth is no. They are very intelligent people. Are they selfish people? I'll say no, they are not. They have given their 10 years, 20 years, 30 years, 40 years of their life to the public service. They have gone through a great deal of pleasure and pain, quite often more pain than pleasure. I see a great deal of goodness in people, not because I have just made up my mind to be that way, but here is what my conscience tells me. Who in the world with a successful lawyer, a successful business, why should a successful lawyer, a successful businessman will want to go to a crummy, dirty, ugly politics? No, that is not their intention. They want to do something good and they want to bring change. That is the main motivating force for anyone to go in politics, and yes, exceptions are always there. Similarly, those who go into the police department, join the police force. It's not just making money that makes them go there. They truly believe that they will do something good there. And when such good people do something bad, then it is a time to really reflect, why is that? They are strong people. Violence is not sign of strength, it is sign of weakness. How such a wonderful, strong person became so weak? Shouting, hurting, harming, manipulating, cheating, lying, all these are signs of weakness. They are not signs of strength. Bullying, all they are signs of weakness. And normally, those who seem to be on that path, in their own unique way, in their own unique fields. Most of them, majority of them have been achievers, strong people. When such strong people start showing the signs and symptoms of weakness, something we have to look at it. Why? What kind of weakness has entered there? And by addressing that cause, we can find a much better, more balanced solution. Okay. Solution which will have least amount of so-called quote side effects. Okay. When we start looking things in a small, narrow manner, and we become completely caught in that narrow environment, definitely even our good actions are bound to bear lots of bad fruits. Is let's say joining a particular movement which seems to be so important. For example, let's say saving life of dolphins. Is it bad? No, not at all. But should we save the lives of dolphins by hurting, harming, and creating unrest in our society? I think that's not good. That's not healthy. Is it wrong to address the issues of our society? Let's say take an example of Black Lives Matters. Isn't that their life matters? Of course it matters. Should we do something about it? Of course we should do something about it. Okay. But is it just by hurting and harming the lives of white, automatically the lives of blacks will be healed? Perhaps no. So our act of kindness, compassion has to be very well thought out. Okay. Is having debate about the truth is bad idea? Of course not. But if during that debate, during the process of discovery of the truth, if something or someone turns out to be not aligned to our ideology and belief, is it okay just to hurt and harm that person? I don't think so. This is what here Kali Yuga does. Kali Yuga tells us that eating only organic food is right and any other food is a sin. Why? Kali Yuga says that because Kali Yuga means extremism. Despite the fact that organic food is very, very wonderful, and yet hurting and harming others, saying bad things about those who do not eat, do not grow organic food, that is something called extremism. Making a blanket statement about a circumstance, is something called extremism. Okay? Protecting, helping, serving battered women, of course, that is very, very important job. Standing firm and opposing, or not just opposing, sorry, I should withdraw that word. Standing firm and proactively doing something to stop human trafficking. That is something very important. It's moral duty and moral responsibility of every single human being to do something to prevent human trafficking. But picking up guns and shooting those who do not shout as loud as we do regarding this issue, that is also not good. That's not good at all. That's not healthy. That's called extremism. That is Kali Yuga. This is what is going on all over the world. As a spiritually driven organization, we have to figure out what is our prime duty and responsibility. That will be determined by looking at our prime central mission. Our central mission is love all and hate none. Embrace all and exclude none. Vasudhaiva kutumbakam. The whole world is a family. My life matters, your life matters, everyone's life matters. Ahimsa paramo dharma. Highest among all dharma is non-violence. Putting the principle of compassion into action is called positive way of constructive way of practicing non-violence. Non-violence doesn't mean that you just simply don't shoot somebody. No. That is of course, it's a very important thing, but that's called gross manifestation of, or gross way of practicing non-violence. More subtle, more refined, more potent than that is even not to hurt and harm anybody, even through our words, language. Even more subtle and potent than that is not to think hurting and harming anyone at any level. That's called doing good by not doing something bad. That has a general level of so-called effect, not a precise level of effect. And if we really want to bring some change, then we have to practice so-called ahimsa, non-violence, in a more proactive manner. That is, expressing the deeper virtues of our love and compassion in active manner. In action, we have to express our compassion and love in our thought, speech, as well as action. As an organization, for example, here, of course, there are so many reasons why we must refrain from saying bad things to anybody. There are so many reasons why we must not do anything foolish. But that is not enough. As a spiritually driven organization, it is our duty and responsibility to identify what is best thing to do out there rather than what is bad thing not to do out there. So, here comes a solution from an organization like Himalayan Institute. Here comes a solution from a philosopher, a spiritual seeker, who happened to be serving this organization, that is me. That first and foremost thing is here, that stop talking in a language that bifurcates one life from others. Not only white life matters and black life matters and women's life matters and old people's life matters, battered women's life matters and educated lives matter and the matter of the poor people, life matters. It's not that the American life matters and Christian lives matter and Hindu life matters. Everyone's life matters. The philosophy that we practice here demands to have one clear vision, that is, all life matters. Now design the course of your programs, the course of your services, which dispenses the energy of healing, rejuvenation, and nourishment to all life. And to me, this is a principle that can help many, many, many good, kind, well-meaning individuals and organizations to stay focused and remain completely unaffected and untouched by unnecessary darkness that is putting so much pressure on almost everyone. To me, what is happening in the United States, what is happening in Europe, what is happening anywhere deserves a spiritual solution. Why? Today, what I hear as a head of an organization, I keep myself available to news here and there, not because I have any interest, but because I don't want to live like an ignorant. So much is coming out from wonderful universities, colleges, think tanks, CDC, World Bank, World Trade Organizations, United Nations. All these great, great, great organizations and entities are telling us, here is the truth, here is the truth, here is the truth. And yet, we are running amok. There are so many great, wonderful political leaders, religious leaders, corporate leaders. They are telling us, guiding us, helping us in right manner, doing right thing, and yet things are not working out so well as we expect. Why? There has to be a much, much, much deeper and very, very strong foundation for everything that we do. And that's what I say. Political maneuvering needs not a religious forces to assist them, but pure spiritual. That means that which is based on fundamental principles of consciousness, the spirit of all living beings. It may sound lofty, but if I do not talk in a lofty language, lofty manner, who else will do it? I don't have much to lose, I don't have much to gain. My gain is you be happy and let everyone be happy. And in this process, I have nothing to lose at all. Therefore, I'm telling you, ihaiyo tena jitah sargo yesham samye sthitam manah. So much anger, so much unrest in the external world. Isn't that there is something deep inside us that to be calmed down in order to find some kind of stability and peace and tranquility in the external world? How many times and how many prophets and how many great enlightened sages and saints and masters and the prophets do we need to tell us the same thing again and again and again? Ihaiyo ten jitah sargo. As soon as we happen to cultivate a clear, calm, and tranquil mind, automatically that clarity and calmness and tranquility begins to reflect in our surroundings. It is not that easy for a human being to be unkind to another human being, regardless what is the religion and ethnicity of the other human being is. It is by nature we are very good souls. God has given 2 hands, 10 fingers. And no creatures other than humans have the ability to pick up things and give it to someone other than the humans. That is our nature. Loving, giving, serving, embracing all. That is somehow in our DNAs. All we have to do is just let it come forward. Therefore, with this message, with this program, with this live stream, I'm just telling you one thing. Please, find 5 minutes a day for yourself. Calm down your breath. Just simply be what you are, and you will find yourself that you are a very, very wonderful person. As soon as you see your own inherent goodness, as soon as you come in touch with your own inherent peace and tranquility, then open your eyes. You will see a very beautifully transformed world around you. First, suddenly you will notice you don't have much problem with your wife and husband. You don't have much tussle with your neighbors. And it must start from there. That's where it will start. I'm not talking about what is happening at the Indo-China border and whether your meditation can really solve that problem or not. That is not my concern. My concern is what is happening right in us first, in our own minds, in our own hearts. What is happening in our own kitchen? What is happening in our own living rooms? What is happening in our own family? What is happening in our streets? What is happening in our community? What is happening in our locality? How are we viewing our day-to-day interactions and tussles? How are we managing life? And for that, we do not need a very, very big organization. In fact, we do not need lots of grants and financial aids and we do not need big governments to start giving us money. What we need is trust in ourselves, faith in ourselves, trust in our loved ones, faith in our loved ones. And that is something that comes from our own inward journey. We cannot restore the love and trust in our loved ones by having so-called a debate, and especially in that state of mind when both parties are fighting. First, we have to calm down ourselves, have a right way of expressing ourselves. First, to ourselves. Our speech has to match the innate quality of our own mind. Our actions have to match the intrinsic qualities of our own mind and heart. As soon as we do that, something very beautiful happens. And the process that which helps us achieve that is called meditation. When I was walking into this hall for this live stream, I met one of our residents here at the Himalayan Institute, Julie Reed. I stopped by, I said, Julie, tell me one thing. What should I tell today in my live stream? He thought for a second. He said, be comfortable and join Bisoka. I said, my God, can you elaborate, Julie? She said, if people are not comfortable in their body, they will never be comfortable in any country. If people are not comfortable in their speech, if people are not comfortable in their mind, if people are not comfortable with themselves, there is no comfort. And a person suffering from any form of discomfort, bound to have an uncomfortable speech and action. I said, thank you, Julie. Perhaps Divine Mother, the goddess of wisdom, Saraswati, is speaking through you to me. This is my message to you all. So many people might be demanding so many different kinds of solutions, and so many kinds of people out there, and so many different kinds of organizations out there might be offering many kinds of solutions. My solution to you, my solution from this organization is just be comfortable. That comfort comes from meditation. Please, wherever you are, if you have any system of meditation, wonderful. If you don't have any system of meditation, wonderful. If you believe in meditation, it's wonderful. And if you do not believe in meditation, that's also wonderful. Simply pay attention to your breath. Just give 5 minutes to yourself and sit down and just watch your breath. Inhale and exhale. As gently, as quietly, as peacefully as possible. Just by watching your breath, you will be able to know one day that you have started paying attention to the breath of all. This is the one thing entire human race shares in common. All Hindus, all Muslims, all Christians, all blacks, all whites, all men, all women, all poor, all rich, all Easterners, all Westerners are breathing from one common pool of breath called Prana Shakti. As soon as we pay attention to the breath, somewhere at very subtle level, we start paying attention to all living beings. Okay. This is what I will advise. And as far as your preferences, your choices, and sense of belongingness, and your support and lack of it is concerned, just I will request, do only one thing. Sit down for 5 minutes and breathe gently, quietly. And then open your eyes, and then you decide whose life matters and whose life does not matter. Furthermore, whose your life matters, what are you going to do for them? If we can breathe the air of peace and tranquility in the lives of those whom we really love and care for, I'll say it, most practical demonstration of your love and service by being healthy and breathing out healthy breath. We can help others so profoundly, so deeply, which we can never ever do with a disturbed, distracted, confused, angry, and irritable mind. Therefore, to defeat Kali Yuga and to light few lamps and drive away some good amount of darkness of Kali Yuga from our lives and from the lives of others, we need to be first. We need to first find that light. That light comes from entering the cave of our own heart. And meditation is the way to enter the cave of our own heart. Find a very, very respectful solution. Not to one particular problem, issue and concern, but all problems in life. Because a healthy mind automatically figures out how to build a healthy body, how to build a healthy environment, how to build a healthy family, how to build a healthy society, okay? And how to build a healthy system of governance, how to build a healthy system of commerce and trade. It is very simple and absolutely, and very simple, doable, and costs not a single penny. Thank you, God bless you, and with this presentation, if I have said anything which hurts anyone's sentiments and emotions, in advance, I apologize for that, and again I remind that solution to any problem lies right here. Finger pointing doesn't help at all. And doing very, very wonderful thing with a disturbed, distracted, angry, hateful, revengeful mind does not bear good, healthy fruits. Therefore, definitely, please, at this time, at this crucial time in our history, please try your best not to hurt and harm anybody. That's the minimum we should expect of us, ourselves. But try your best even when you do something good. Not doing something bad is must. But even when we do something good, even when we do something right, please try your best to do it with a calm, tranquil, loving, kind, compassionate mind. Don't do it with angry, hateful, divisive, sad, fearful mind. Okay. A seed of poison always bears a poisonous fruit. Therefore, do not sow a seed of this kind of Deadliest among all poison is the poison of anger, hatred, fear, doubt, distrust, mistrust. Therefore, this is the message from your own organization, and this is a message which I broadcast on behalf of the sages. And again, according to the sages, love all and hate none. Do good and harvest good. That is the message. Thank you. God bless you.